else we got? All right. Let's try this one. Uh-oh.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
I have a question for Dr. Steve.
Oh,
Quite anonymous.
Excellent.
are you a robot?
Dr. Steve,
Yes, sir.
does this look infected? Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
Yes. It
Yes.
does,
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, it is.
Must
Looks
be removed.
Pussy.
like syphilis. Or,
Yes, must be removed.
That's our friend Cardiff Electric. Check out his podcast. It's the most surreal and odd podcast that's ever been on the internet today. And we broadcast out of his, network studios too. So there you go. Yeah, Cardiff Electric podcast. This is crazier than shit. He's one of my favorite people in the world. All right, let's see here.
Hey, Dr. Steve. Hello. Everybody, actually, hello. But Dr.
Okay.
Steve, this one's mainly for you.
Thank you.
I have a quick question for you. So after listening to this week's podcast, you guys are talking about, organ donors and stuff along that line.
Yes.
I actually have a friend of mine that did receive an organ transplant
Okay.
and is doing very well.
Good.
But it got me to thinking. She was on a list for quite some time waiting for, the transplant. My question to you is, if a person is on a waiting list for, let's say, a liver or kidney or whatever, and they don't see that day, and they expire before they're able to get their transplant,
Yeah, which happens all the time, unfortunately.
are they able to qualify as a donor moving forward? In other words,
Yeah.
like let's say their lungs are okay or their left arm or whatever. Are they able, even though they're on a list to receive and they expired, are they able to use any harvest parts out
Sure.
of them?
Sure. It depends, but whether their organs qualify, you have to be brain dead. And so let's talk a little bit about brain death. Back in the day, when you stopped breathing, you were dead. Then the medical profession and scientists and engineers invented respirators or ventilators.
Right.
So now just stopping breathing can't be the definition of death. Then they said, well, when your heart stops, then you're dead. Well, now we have ACLS, we've got pacemakers, we've got stuff that we can jumpstart somebody's heart sometimes. So that alone can't be the only definition for death. So now we define it as cessation of brain function. But how do you determine that? There are a series of things. We could do a whole talk about that sometime. How do you determine if someone is brain dead? But one of the definitive methods to confirm brain death is lack of blood flow to the brain. Okay? Now, if you have someone that's brain dead and they're still on the ventilator, their heart's still pumping, we can still get oxygen from the outside to the inside, but they are deceased. Those people can donate their organs. So if you had someone that was on the list for a liver because of a non-infectious reason, it couldn't be for hepatitis, but for non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, or they had a chemical hepatitis, and all of those effects were gone, but only their liver remained, and then they were brain dead, I don't see any reason why they at least couldn't be screened by the state donor services to see if they could donate a heart. They certainly could donate skin and corneas. They could donate heart and lungs, kidneys, whatever, if the other things were still working. That would be an odd thing, but it would not be impossible. But if they had some infectious disease, then that would knock them out of it. So anyway.